Previously on Michaela Street, Michaela talks about her love for children and the energy she gets from interacting with the ones who struggle. What will happen this week on Michaela Street? I have no idea. I've been trying to think of what to say. I set up my video thing earlier in the day, and then my roommate came home and wanted to take a nap.
Here you go, an external processor in the wild. Me talking for an extensive amount of time about how I have no idea what to talk about and I have no idea how my week went. So the rest of this video really came about because I talked it out and then I got somewhere. But until that point, I had no idea what I was going to talk about. So here you go. Ready, set, go.
I would say this week I have really been honing in my skills. I don't know. I've just been like reaching out for help with how to interact with certain intangible drivers, how to unconsciously confront better. Also kind of checking in on what I have been doing, because what I've been doing a lot, I mean, over the past few weeks, but like I feel like every week I get more confident and just like in the moment I'm just trying stuff. Like I have all this information and now it's like my chance to apply it and like figure it out and really to see where my skills are at and how I can kind of improv in the moment. And so there has been a lot of, I'm just in the moment and I just try something. And I'm like, I don't know if that's the right way to do it or the wrong way to do it or whatever. But I've been trying a lot of stuff. And so then this week I've just been like reaching out and being like, and like trying to be really honest with the people that are helping me, to be like, hey, this is what I did. Like, what do you think? Like, am I on the right track? Like, was I totally off? Like, is this actually helping someone? Is there a better way to do this? And it's just been really cool to like step into that and like embrace the tension of like, I could be completely wrong. And that's fine. And that's like totally fine. Because it's the only way that I'm going to get better is by actually sharing what I'm doing and getting feedback on it. And so that's been really cool, because I think that I have kind of seen where maybe I was kind of going in the wrong direction, and because I shared it right away and asked about it right away, like now I can like kind of shift it a little bit and see how what I was doing was like helpful for certain things, but maybe going forward I can change it a little bit. So I think I've just been like growing that skill of embracing the tension of sharing what I'm doing even if I might be wrong, and when I am given another option, like taking it and being like, cool, I can do that. So for example, with Dan, my favorite little friend, so last week I had this deal with him about like doing hard things and I'll eat popcorn, whatever. And if you do something hard, then I'll do something hard, because that will help me feel better about it. And so basically we had this deal about how I was going to eat popcorn if he did something hard. So earlier this week, the popcorn thing came up again when we were doing math work and he really didn't want to do his math work. And he brought up the popcorn thing, and so in the moment I'm just like, how do I like motivate him? And I was like, the popcorn thing works, I've been talking about doing hard things, blah blah blah. And so in the moment I go, oh, maybe for like every problem you do, I'll eat another piece of popcorn. And he like loved that. Like he got so excited. Like he was like laughing and like had so much energy doing the math, and he was like going really fast, and he was like, he knows the freaking information, he just won't write it down. But he was like writing it all down and he was doing a great job, and that motivated him. But then afterwards I was like, is this animal training? Like I don't want to like animal train my kids. And so then I was kind of wondering about that, because I also didn't want to like keep doing this even though it was working. I was like, I don't want to keep doing this if this is going to hurt him long term to be trained this way. So that was one thing that I reached out about to the people who were helping me, multiple people who were helping me. I talked about it and I was just like, I don't really know if this is like I'm on the right track. And so I got feedback on that, and it was like, yeah, I mean, it's great, you're like forming this connection with him and it's building this positive emotion with him, but I think there is a better way to try to like grow that motivation. And so it was cool because I got a lot of ideas on how I can help him going forward with this stuff and help him, one, kind of like learn like who he is and like what makes him unique and what strengths he has, what makes him strong. And One thing I was talking about with a restoree this week was talking about fixed mindset versus growth mindset. And so that kind of sparked something in my head where it's like, oh, he's definitely fixed mindset. He is super down on himself and he's like, I can't do this, I shouldn't even try, whatever. So I was like, oh, how do I facilitate him growing into a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset and then being able to work more independently? How do I do that? Through unconscious confrontation and getting his unconscious brain involved. So later in the week with Dan, one day we were working on math and I was next to him the whole time. I was motivating him in the way that I know how, but it was very like problem by problem, and he would not move forward with it, and he kept complaining about it unless I was there going, okay, can you do this next one for me? I don't want to do it. I know, I see that, I get it, but can you still do this one for me? That is what is going to help me feel better. And like in between each problem, I would be like telling him stories and like talking about all the stuff we'd already talked about. Like, remember what we talked about the other day? Yeah, we don't always have to want to do something, but we can still choose to do it. I talked to him about squirrels in our brain. I shared on myself stories about stepping into hard things, and slowly over time you start to feel better and better about them if you decide to make that choice to do it and grow in it. He was like getting it, but then it would just go back to he's not going to do it, he doesn't want to do it. And so it's like, okay, like it doesn't make any sense long term for him to need someone to push him to do every single problem. Like, I feel like he needs to grow to a point where it's like, you can do this independently, bro, even if it's like one more a day or whatever. And so then it was actually really cool because after that he was really, really upset. It was a lot of pain he was taking on, compassion perceiver. And he just like had a lot inside, and he was also sick this week, and so it's hard, you know. So when I'm sick, I cry really easily and I don't want to do anything. So like I can't imagine like a third grader who's sick being like encouraged to try to like do his math that he doesn't want to do. Like, that sucks. But anyway, so he was sick, he said he had a headache, and I started talking to him about like, do you think you have a headache because you're sick, or is it also because like you're just upset? And he said maybe both. And so we talked about feelings, and I was like, do you think maybe you just need to get your feelings out? And he said yeah, but he didn't know how. And so I took him to the nurse's office. It was cool. We got to talk in the hall on the way there about getting our feelings out, and I shared on myself about, you know, sometimes I don't know where to start either with my feelings, but I know if I get them out and feel them, I'm going to feel so much better in the future. Otherwise, they kind of build up inside, and then we just keep feeling worse. And he shared with me that, yeah, sometimes, like, he's just really bad at getting his feelings out, and sometimes it feels like there's just, like, a monster inside of him that's, like, punching him, but he can't get it out. And I was like, oh. But then he had to leave, so we didn't get to talk about it anymore. But anyway, so then the next day, the same thing kind of happened where he didn't want to do his math homework again, and he was doing the exact same thing. Because I tried like a few things, like tried encouraging him and motivating him the way that I have been, but also reminding him of all the stuff we've talked about so far, and like being like, remember like when you were doing this and it was awesome, do you remember that? Like how good that felt, blah, blah, blah. He still wasn't doing it. And I was like, okay, if you're not going to try for me, then I'm going to go help the other kids right now, because I want to work with the friends who want to try and want to do a good job and want to get better. So if you're not going to do that, that's your choice, but I'm going to go talk to some other kids. And I left, and I just like, and he was like wandering around the room like making paper airplanes and whatever, and I was just like, he was trying to get my attention with it and like trying to get my affirmation, and I was just like, every time I'd look at him, I like, no, like that's not what I want you to do. He would like wave the paper airplane by me and like, look at this, and I'm like, that doesn't help me feel any better. And he'd be like, well, and he was like, whoa, and I was like, and I would just look at him, and he'd be like, yeah, I know, I don't want to do it though. I'm like, I know, that's your choice, but my choice is I'm gonna work with the kids who want to get better. And he just was like, And it was like hard because like I like him and I like talking to him, and obviously it doesn't feel good in one step to shut them down. but you know, it's better that way. So then I'm talking about this with the people who help me, and what I learned that can help this week, and I'm going to try it next week, which I'm really excited about, is I can unconsciously confront him about this working on stuff thing. So it's like, for example, with math, I can be like, hey, so we have 15 minutes to get this math done. You can either complain for 10 minutes and then have to do it for 5 minutes, or you can get it done really quick in the first 5 minutes and then have a bunch of fun. Which one do you want to choose? What's your choice? And then it's asking him the question, do you like throwing a fit? Is that fun for you? Do you like that? But it's like letting his unconscious brain get involved and basically pushing back on him to be like, hey, we don't actually like this. So the biggest thing with Dan right now is like, I'm really excited to go into this week to use this stuff to be like, this is frustrating, right? This is frustrating. You don't like it. You don't like doing math. Do you want to be frustrated every single day? And really talking to him about how we are in control of our thought process and how we approach something and our perspective towards it and our mindset towards it. So what do you want? How can math class feel like recess? Well, it's all to do with your mind, bro. I'm excited to talk about that with him and any of the other kids if it comes up. But I really need to go right now because I have to go to a dinner party, which I'm really excited about. But I am supposed to be there in like 2 minutes. So good thing it only takes like a couple minutes to drive there. But I will come back a different day to finish this if I have anything else to say. I feel like there's not like a coherent, this is what I'm learning, here's a story to go along with that. It's just like, here's a bunch of random stories to tell you, and I don't know exactly the point of this week. So I'll probably look different tomorrow. Well, whatever day I do this, I don't know, I have to work tomorrow. So now I'm just rambling and wasting time again. So I am excited to go eat some amazing food by my friend Rob. Yep, he made an appearance in a previous video. Yeah, he's making a bunch of awesome food for us tonight with a team of, I don't know, you call them like sous chefs? I don't know. But it's gonna be awesome, and it's gonna be like wine and food. Anyway, I have to go, Michaela. God. Hello, I'm back. I am just going to finish up my thoughts about last week because I know I had to leave in the middle of my recording. So I'm just going to do that quickly. So I know I talked about how this past week has really just been a lot of stepping into tension and embracing the tension of not only just the situations that I'm involved in at school with the kids and like trying to motivate them and respond to different behaviors or getting them motivated to do something, but also the tension of maybe I'm wrong with how I'm doing this thing and how I have been really practicing my improv skills in the moment and just like trying stuff based on the information that I have. And so I am really excited for this next week to step into more of that. It seems like I'll have the opportunity to actually teach some stuff this week, so I'm going to be stepping into that, which is really exciting. I just want to get this video done because I didn't have that much more to say, but I did want to have like a conclusion and whatever. I also have a pizza in the oven and wine waiting for me in the fridge, so I want to get to that. But yeah, I think, oops, awesome. Hopefully I don't burn my apartment down. Anyway, so overall this week was awesome, and I'm really, really excited to go into this next week where I get to practice more and try more things and grow and learn. And so I'll see you next week. Bye.